to begin? I remember being on set a month ago and someone asked me, are your parents proud of what you do? And how do they feel about your job, your occupation? Well, I'm gonna tell you.
You told me once to forget the past, because it doesn't matter. But nothing good came of it. There was no place for me to return to. This was the only place I could go.
When it comes to what I do in my career, my parents have always, in the beginning, felt that it was a phase. And what I mean by that is they were hoping that it was just something that would be a hobby, holding a camera, taking pictures. But then as time went on, I decided that I wanted to major in photography for college. And then when I dropped out, they got worried and concerned, and they thought that, again, it was a phase. And my dad sat with me and was like, you need to straighten out your life. You can't just be partying and doing what young 20-year-olds do. You need to be an adult and figure out your life. And so I wrote down goals that were life-changing. For example, if you know anything about cameras, I used to have just a regular consumer camera, Canon T2i, and I made it a goal to get a full-frame camera, which made it legit. And to have a mentor, to be able to travel to 2 different places I've never been to start working with modeling agencies because I really wanted to pursue fashion photography. And I forgot what else, but there's more. And so I legit created that list and made it happen in that next year, because I think it was December and then January is coming up. So that following year, I made it happen. Whatever I wrote on that list, it came to life. And I really thank my dad for that, because that was really a big stepping stone in my career. And for me, I just was always thankful and appreciative that my dad was very supportive in what I do. He bought me my first camera. He handed me down his film camera. He never made me think twice about my goals in life. He just was like, whatever it is that you want to do, we're gonna, help to make it happen. Even when I was going to school in college, I was struggling to pay for art school. It's not cheap by no means. I didn't get a fancy scholarship that was like a full ride or anything. And I remember my dad would go to the school and would talk with financial aid. My dad really was a huge support system in my career. And even when I didn't have a photo studio anymore and I had to migrate everything back home, he would help me set up, even though he would complain about the electricity bill and things like that, and think about, again, with safety and having people, strangers at our home, he still helped out with me just wanting to create the things that I wanted to do and help them just be real. And I'll never forget creating a backdrop, setting up the stands, and my dad, it was just hilarious because we'd be at one side of the room and then I'd be like, no, the light's not hitting the setup correctly. We gotta shift it this way. Then it's shift it the other way. And I just miss those times when my dad would help me set up for a photo shoot. And yeah, he was very charismatic. And like I said, I just am very grateful that he was a big part of my career, in a sense that he just always just wanted to help in however form he could. And so when it came down to my mom was just always someone in the background. As much as she loves to be in front of the camera, she didn't really have a say in my career. The only thing that she has mentioned consistently for years, not anymore, she pretty much always brought up the thought of, oh, are you sure you don't want to do nursing? Which, if any Filipino person is watching right now, you'd understand and totally relate. And I would always get annoyed because I would just be like, no, I never thought about nursing in my life. I respect all the people who do it as their career, but I by no means ever had that thought that I wanted to pursue that. And so that was annoying to always hear, because you just felt that your parents were not supportive and that they were just hoping and waiting until just the time when you'll just realize that, hey, this is not for me and I want to pursue something else. But that never happened. And so the big life-changing moment for her that I recall is that when I got published on a cover of a magazine. I remember when that happened, my mom, that was when it struck her, where it was like, whoa, like this is legit. This is actually happening. You're really getting somewhere with this. And she brought the magazine to her job, and then she felt bad because, you know, when you go to any hospital, medical facility per se, or any office, doctor's office, they always have piles of magazines. And from what I remember is that I think she left it on the table and then probably somebody picked it up because it wasn't there anymore, and she felt so bad and guilty that she lost it. And she just brought it because she wanted to show off to her coworkers the issue of the magazine, and then it was gone. It was missing, and luckily and fortunately enough, I had 2 copies, so I wasn't sweating about it. And for her, that was just the pivotal moment for her, that her daughter got published on the cover of a magazine. And for me, I remember that time too. That editorial was inspired by my grandfather who passed away. And so the fact that that landed the cover was a big deal at the time. I never even thought that would ever happen to me. And so from then on, never heard about nursing ever again. And like, it just was such a good feeling because I just had to prove to my parents that this is what I really want to do. This is not a joke. When I set my mind to it, I make it happen. Never was someone who was like here or there about things. I just always knew that this is what I want to do and that I was passionate about it, and I was willing to do whatever it took to get there. And so after that moment, now that my dad passed away, my mom, from then and now, she has just always told everyone, my daughter does photography, she does filmmaking, she wants to be a director. She, you know, it's something that I know a lot of traditional families have a struggle with, the thought of their child wanting to do something in the creative aspect of things. But that's just my story of what came about. And like I said, it wasn't just like an easy path or journey. It literally was a struggle for me to even find myself, to figure out what it was that I wanted to pursue per se. Like, I wanted to pursue photography, but I didn't know necessarily what genre or what kind of projects or what message that I wanted to come across and tell and share the world, or what narrative. And now I feel that after years later, I can say now I know myself better. I feel that my viewers like you know me better in my work. You can tell when it's something that I've done, which is like, whoa, mind-blowing. But I've heard that many times. And so it's just cool when your mom or your parent is like watching, whether it's their phone or like watching your project or like on the big screen. My mom, I'll like hear my YouTube videos like on the surround sound, like super loud, and I'm just like, why is she watching this at like 2 a.m.? But hey, she's supporting me by watching my videos, knowing what it is that I'm up to. And I know, like I said, for some people it's not like that. It's not so great. But all I can say is for people who are trying to find their voice, or for people who feel that they have people who are in their life that don't support what they do and they don't understand, they will understand. It takes time, and as you grow into your craft, hopefully they will finally see or have an epiphany that whatever it is that you're doing is serious and it's not just a hobby. I think that's something that used to irritate me, but I just kind of let go now when people are just like, oh, like what you do is a hobby. It's like, no, it's not a hobby. This is my life. This is my career. This is what I eat, sleep, and breathe. It's what I do. And you just don't see me doing anything else. And that's pretty much it. I just can say that it's just been a whole turbulation of things, but in the end of the day, it was very well rewarding to get to this point in my career. So thank you again for watching. Hopefully your circle supports you in whatever it is that you set your mind to, and stay tuned till the next video. Sayonara. It's the end of the video, so don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, it will help me in the long run. Okay, bye.